Hello and welcome back to Smart Real Estate. Now we are lucky enough to be joined by Bob Weller, who is the VP of Mortgage Lending with Guaranteed Rate. Hi Bob, how are you today?
Hi Angie, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. Now tell me, why did you become a lender?
Well, back in 2002, my mentor at the time, we were discussing career decisions after the technology meltdown, and he knew me really well, and he noticed that I had a real client-focused centric, really trying to solve their needs. He also saw that I was relentless, and he goes, you know, you'd make a really good mortgage lender. And I had worked on Wall Street back in the 80s, and I knew a lot about government bonds and mortgages, so it was a really good fit for me to get into mortgage lending and apply my skills to helping people.
That's interesting. That's a great background for that. Okay, Guaranteed Rate. Tell me about Guaranteed Rate. What makes you guys different?
Well, Guaranteed Rate was started in approximately 2000 by Victor Ciadelli back in Chicago. We've grown to be the 8th largest lender in the United States, doing over $14 billion in loans last year. And the thing that I really like about Guaranteed Rate that I've come to see, and it's really made a difference, is every team member, employee there owns their job. That in our business, it's an extremely complicated, detailed job. And there's a lot of issues that need to be solved as loans go on. Every employee there always takes ownership for their job, their timeline. And when there's an issue that comes up, which in loans there's always issues, we all work together to solve it. There's no finger pointing, and we just get the job done on time.
Wow, that's great. And so tell me, what makes you different than other loan officers?
Well, I have a real passion for helping people and helping them get into their first home or any home. And a lot of times I get the call after there's been a situation with another lender that's hasn't worked out too good. And so they know that I will find a solution when no one else can find a solution. For example, I recently had a borrower that went self-employed in the middle of last year, didn't have taxes, but he had a good down payment. I was able to get him a loan so that they could buy a house. They just had a baby, they wanted to get a bigger house. And he hadn't even filed taxes yet, and he was self-employed under 1 year, and so we still got him a loan. So my ability to really listen to what their needs are and just go scour for the different lenders that we have, because we underwrite to 22 different lenders in-house, and we broker to 16 lenders out-of-house.
So you have a lot more flexibility than, say, some of your bigger banks.
Tons of flexibility, numerous guidelines that we can underwrite to, and we're a great team. We really enjoy our work, and we're good at it.
Yes, it seems like you guys have a really great group of professionals there.
They are.
So tell me, do you guys offer any niche products?
On the niche side, we did. I just mentioned one to you, is where if a person has recently become self-employed or their taxes have some interesting situations, we have some lenders that just want to make sure that they're making a good living, but they don't have to fit through all the loopholes. In terms of the jumbo product, we have more jumbo lenders than anybody I know. In Southern California and San Diego here, a lot of homes or loans are above the 527 loan amount, and 546 rather. And so we need a lot of different investors that will take those loans. We have quite a few of those.
So to make it jumbo, it's only $546,000.
Under conventional guidelines.
Interesting. Yeah, so a lot of homes in Southern California need to be in the jumbo category.
Right.
So tell me, Bob, where do you see the market today?
Where do I see the market today? Well, as it relates to loans, the government, due to the Frank-Dodd Act, has really tightened down on what lenders are allowed to do and what their requirements are. And one of the things that I saw when, is coming is that if you don't have a large selection of non-Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac conventional lenders, you're going to have some difficulties because the guidelines are very strict. So it really just comes down to there's more portfolio lenders, loans are still getting done. They just want to see that you can afford the house and that you have assets, reliable, the ability to pay the mortgage is super important going forward. So there's a lot of concerns that lending has gotten more strict. It has, but at the same time, if you know your guidelines, you know your client, you can still find loans for them. And a lot of it is a lot of complaining that probably doesn't necessarily need to be happening.
So essentially what I'm hearing from that is if you're told, no, we can't get you a loan, to definitely shop around and keep your options open and don't just go to one, maybe the bank that you bank with, because there are different options out there. It's just like anything, you have to try to find them.
That's a good summary, Angie. I like it.
All right, Bob. So as we finish up, give me 3 tips you'd want to give someone looking to buy.
Well, the 3 tips really come to meet with your lender immediately. I've had people that make millions of dollars, they've got, plenty of money in the bank, and then I take a look at their credit. And they didn't even know that there was a medical late on there, or there was a credit card they forgot to pay, and their credit, excuse me, their credit score is in the 600s. So we have to go out and fix that. So by meeting with your lender immediately, we'll work with them on the big 3, which is their credit score, their income, and their assets, to make sure that they are ready to go make an offer. Because in this market, writing offers, you better be bulletproof, ready to go. And we actually have a niche product as well that we can get loan docs out in 5 days.
So when you say meet with a loan officer in advance, so if I'm looking to buy a home, how far in advance do I need to start reaching out to someone like you?
Well, sometimes people make the decision to buy a house at the last minute, so then, but if they can do it a year in advance, honestly, because sometimes their income isn't high enough, they've got really deep credit issues, that can take 4 or 5 or 6 months to get cleaned up to the point where they're comfortable to buy.
Okay. And then 2 more tips.
2 more tips. Well, I was thinking that the 3 tips were getting the assets and the income and the FICO ready. The other tips...
Well, I have a question regarding
Sure.
the credit. So do you guys actually help them repair their credit, or do you send them to someone that can maybe advise them with that?
Yes, I have an excellent credit repair agency, B Squared, and they do an excellent job walking the borrowers through it.
Okay, and they're able to help them with their credit repair, or just advise the borrower with maybe what they need to do, pay off this, don't do that?
Very, very specific detail. Do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that.
Okay.
But in terms of the other tips, don't go out and buy a car, don't close any credit cards, pay all your bills on time, keep your job, and work with a really reputable lender or realtor, and we can refer them to them if they don't have one.
I think that's the best advice of all, is just working with reputable people that can advise you in the right direction.
There you go.
Well, thanks so much, Bob. Very valuable advice. That was really great information. And thank all of you for tuning in to Smart Real Estate. Check us out next week on Oakwood TV, or if you're interested in appearing on our show, go to OakwoodTV.tv.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Nickel from San Diego Probate Law, and you're watching
Oakwood TV.
Oakwood TV.
Oakwood TV.
OakwoodTV.tv, the first online TV station for the real estate industry.